Hi guys, Kaza here. Welcome back. We're about to do section 3 of chapter 3, and we've got a new home, so we're gonna go see how that goes. And don't forget, of course, to leave comments below, and you can also check out my social media links in the description at the end of the video if you feel like it, or during, whichever. Anyway, let's get going. November 1867. Let's see, last one we were in, what, July? Wow. Yeah, we just moved here recently. Moved in September. Okay. A gust of wind stripped from the last stubborn leaves from the trees and sent them skittering across Kyoto Street. It was cold and bit into me through my clothes. I shivered. It's almost winter, isn't it?
すっかり風が冷たくなったからな。
Yeah, the wind's gotten pretty cold lately.
けどよ、今は昼だからまだマシな方だぜ。寒い夜の巡察がどれだけ辛いかというとな。
Still, we don't have it too bad during the day. I can't imagine how cold it gets for the night guys. It was November, and the temperature was definitely dropping, although it had yet to get cold enough for us to see our breath during patrol.
ひょっとして寒いのか？なんなら手でもつないでやろうか？
Are your hands cold? Would you like me to hold them? No, my hand. I'm not cold. I'll be fine. Oh? I know someone walking towards us.
ようつうかさ何巡察サボって白昼の大通りで口説いたりしてんだよ。
Hey, Chizuru. Sano, what do you think you're doing? You're supposed to be working, not screwing off and hitting on poor defenseless girls on the street.
バカ、お前と一緒にすんな。俺は寒そうだから純粋に好意でだな。
Hey, not everyone's a gigolo like you. She looked cold, so I'm just trying to be a gentleman. Senpaichi's a gigolo? What? I thought that would be the other way around. Hello, Nagakura. Nagakura's patrol took him on a different route than ours. It was only luck we had happened to meet him in one of the few places that overlapped. Their bickering might have looked odd to a passerby, but I knew it was for the sign of deep friendship that was.
そんなニヤニヤしてどうかしたか？
What's up? Why are you grinning like that?
そりゃ、シンパチがいつも通りの抜けた面さらしてるからに決まってるだろう。
Probably thinks your face is funny, Senpaichi. You really ought to do something about that. No, it's just, well, I was just remembering when we met up like this before. Like the time I met Kyoto. It was with Okita and Heisuke, though, then. Oh. More than 6 months had passed since Saito and Heisuke had left to join the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb. Harada and Senpaichi's faces turned grim as I trailed off. Not bad. So who took over their positions, then? I shook my head, hoping vainly to cast off unpleasant thoughts. I just mean, there has been so much going on lately. It makes me nostalgic.
まあ、確かにここんとこ、世間もうちも大きく動きがあったよな。
The Shinsengumi has changed. Hell, so has the rest of the world. Yeah, it's like the shogunate handing power over to the imperial court. Nagakura nodded as I spoke with the air of a pleased teacher encouraging a student.
そうだな。じゃあまず、伊藤派が分離して新選組にどんな影響が出たかわかるか？
Yes, very good. Now, do you know how the loss of Ito and his followers affected Shinsengumi? Well, we have fewer members now.
半分正解。確かに人は減った。それも、最近の幕府寄りな新選組に異を唱える尊王派の連中がごっそりとな。
You're half right. True, we lost some of our men. Those who were staunch imperialists were the first to leave.
ってことはまあ、残ったやつのほとんどは幕府優先の砂漠派ってことになるわけだ。
That means
全員がそうじゃないけどな。
Sorry. That meant most of those guys who stayed were loyalists. Not all of them, though.
ああ。こないだ近藤さんが直参になって、俺たちも幕臣になることが決まったとき、揉めたやつがいたこと覚えてねえか？
Yeah, you remember when Kondo got promoted into a direct service to the shogun, and we were all about shogunate vassals? Not everyone was happy about that. That's right, around that time we moved to Fudodo village. That name sounds so weird. I'm sorry. Fudodo. Several more men had wanted to leave. Some of them had given permission to go, but others were told there wasn't an option and were forced into the Fury Corps. But why did they not have an option? Kondo's promotion had changed the Sensengumi's relationship with the shogun, where before we had only been physiologically aligned with the shogun, we had answered directly to him. For some people, that was a serious problem. How do you guys feel about being vassals of the shogun?
俺らは立場とかって苦手だからな。
I'm not really a fan.
まあな。幕府の家来になるために今まで戦ってきたわけじゃねえし。
Yeah, I didn't do all this work just so I could be a retainer for the shogun. Neither of them was happy with it, then Nagakura especially. We kept walking for a few blocks talking about this and that before Harada yawned quietly.
新八の小難しい話のせいで眠い。お前も飽きたら飽きたって言っていいんだぞ。
Your journey is putting me to sleep, Shinpachi. You can tell him to shut it up, too, if he's boring you, you know? Oh, no, I'm fine. I like listening to Nagakura and talk about things.
佐野と違って偉いね。じゃあ続きでもするか。
You see, Sano, she's a good girl, unlike you. Now, shall we continue?
先々月に起きた明治天皇の即位と先月の大政奉還についてだな。
Why am I getting a history lesson all of a sudden? It's like, let's cover over everything that's happened recently. Let's do this. It's like, okay. What do you know about the Meijei's Emperor Ascension 2 months ago and the restoration of the imperial rule last month? I don't know. Let me look at the encyclopedia. Ascended to the throne in 1865 to the death of the Imperial Kome. Restoration of the imperial rule, a political event in which the shogun, Yoshinobu Tokugawa, returned all sovereign powers to the Meiji Emperor. Well, the restoration was when Tokugawa shogunate returned power over the government to the emperor, right? I don't really know much about it.
そう。幕府を潰すことなく朝廷と一本化させようっていう土佐の坂本龍馬ってやつが主導した意見だ。
Well, you know enough. That's pretty much it. A man named Ryoma Sakamoto from the Tosha domain was the one who figured out a way for the emperor to regain power without destroying the shogunate. The ruling from Tosha had negotiated the alliance between Satsuma and Chozo for the purpose of overthrowing Tokugawa's shogunate. He played a crucial part in restoring imperial rule. Imperial rule. Slow down, slow down. I don't have to rush this. Unfortunately, Nagakura continued. In doing so, he managed to anger both the loyalists and imperialist factions and earn the enmity of both.
ともあれ、この大政奉還で徳川は権力を失ったってことになる。
At any rate, the restoration means that Tokugawa has lost all real authority. At least, that's the official story.
将軍はそのまんまだしな。なんか薩摩とかがいろいろ動いてるらしいが、急に世間が変わるわけでもないさ。
In reality, he's keeping a lot of his power. The governments just can't function without someone to hold the reins. The Satsuma are up to something too, but we don't know what. Still, the world's not going to change overnight. True. I see. As I looked around the city, it seemed like he had a point. Nothing seemed to have changed. Inns were still bustling with travelers. Tea shops were still smelling delicious. Life continued just as it always had, regardless of what the shogun was or wasn't doing. The city might look the same as it always had, but time flowed on, regardless, and a great wave was coming that would carry all of us away. I looked up at Nagakura, and something encouraged me that I hadn't thought of before. Before I realized what I was doing, I already opened my mouth. I didn't realize you were so smart, Nagakura. You know a lot about politics.
一つ聞いていいか？今まで何だと思ってたんだ？俺のこと。
I'm so sorry. Didn't realize. Wait, just what did you think of me? I just thought you were the bronze of the whole operation. Took my own grave. Run! There was a man named Ryoma Sakamoto. He was a ronin from the Tosha domain and had allied himself with the Satsuma and Chosun domains as well. For a time, the Kyoto Judiciary Commissioner Mimi Wari Gumi and even the Shinsengumi were desperate to find him. I don't know if I butchered that name or not. Civil police force similar to Shinsengumi, the Mimi Warikumi, were instead composed of the sons of the shogunate vassals and were therefore somewhat higher ranking. They were charged with protecting the imperial states in the Nijo castle area in Kyoto. Oh, okay. After his orchestration of the restoration of imperial rule, however, the orders were passed down to leave him alone. I had only a general idea of who he was and what he had done, but even if I had figured out that he was an important person, so when I heard Inoue mention him, I listened.
その坂本龍馬だが暗殺されたらしい。
Ryoma Sakamoto has been assassinated. Well, that was fast.
マジかよ、ケンさん。一体誰がやったのか話は出てるのか？
You serious, Ken? Do they know who did it?
坂本は敵が多いしな。倒幕派か砂漠派か。個人的な恨みなら紀州の三浦ってやつも揉めてたよな。
Sakamoto had a lot of enemies. Could have been imperialists or loyalists. Hell, it could have been just personal, in which case my money's on Miura of Kishu. Eh? The Ki domain or the Wakayama domain. It was one of the three main branches of the Tokugawa clan. Okay.
実は僕らが一番疑われてるんじゃ。どうせ殺されんなら僕が切っておけばよかったな。
Huh? You think maybe they're looking at us for it? Damn. If the bastard was gonna get killed anyway, I should have done him in.
おいおい、おめえのは冗談に聞こえねえよ。つうか、俺らは手出すなって言われてただろうが。
That's, not funny coming from you. And in fact, weren't we specifically told to leave him alone? I never met Sakamoto. I barely knew who he was, but I felt somehow that his death would shake the country to its core. Inoue frowned.
知っての通り、政治的な判断もあるし、私たちは近藤さんから坂本龍馬に手を出さないよう加盟されている。
As you know, there's a decision made far above us, and Kondo was ordered to leave Ryoma Sakamoto alone.
だけど世間はそう見てくれないようだね。現場に新選組大使の鞘が落ちていたらしい。今、取り調べの問い合わせが来ているよ。
Didn't his mouth used to move, or am I just crazy? Unfortunately, the rest of the country is unlikely to see it that way. A scarab belonging to a member of the Shinsengumi was found at the scene of his death. There has been a request for an official inquiry. Ooh. That's not good. A scarab? Is that really enough evidence?
どう考えても単なる言いがかりだろうよ。で、誰の鞘だって言ってるんだ？
If it isn't, I'm sure they'll just fabricate more. It's obviously a ruse. Who are they saying it belonged to anyway?
それがな、あんたなんだ、原田くん。
Actually, they said it was yours, Harada. What? Of all the people to try and frame for murder, Harada?
なんだ、佐野さんが切ったんだ。僕も呼んで欲しかったな。
Really, Sano? Damn, wish you brought me with you.
バカ言え。問題の俺の鞘はここにあるんだぜ。話にもならないな。
Knock it off, Okita. Besides, my scarab's right here. It's idiotic. He threw up his hands in desperation. Inoue smiled faintly and nodded.
私もみんなも最初から疑ってないよ。だが世間が信じてくれるかわからんのが困るな。
I don't suspect you, and neither does anyone else here. Unfortunately, I doubt the rest of the nation will extend the same courtesy.
先方も犯人を絞りきれないのだろうね。紀州藩の三浦九太郎が新選組に依頼して暗殺したって話もあったよ。
I imagine they're having trouble determining the real culprit. There was talk that Kutaro Miura from Kyushu asked the Shinsengumi to kill Ryoma. Loyalists. He's on good terms with Ryoma Sakamoto. Figured that. Miura. That was the name Nagakura had mentioned. He had some sort of personal quarrel with Sakamoto, which made him a suspect.
新選組の仕業にしたいやつもいるだろうしな。つっても、俺たちが知らない以上、新選組が手を下したわけねえよ。
I'm sure there's plenty of people who'd love to pin this on one of the Shinsengumi, but unless someone did and then lied about it, there's no way it was us.
三男さんが勝手に動いたんだとしたら別ですけどね。
Unless someone decided to go do a little work off the books. The room fell silent.
三男さんは大丈夫なのか？俺らから見ても最近の夜の巡察はやり方がひでえぜ。
How is Sanan these days? Our reputation is grisly enough, but the rumors I've been hearing about the night patrol are even worse. It was true that Sanan had been acting stranger and stranger. Although I didn't want to believe it, I had to admit it wasn't that difficult to imagine him doing something like that. When I passed him on occasion in the hallways, his eyes were dry and thirsty, as if always hungry for blood.
俺らで気をつけるしかねえよ。羅刹隊の存在を表に出すわけにはいかねえし。
We'll have to be careful then. We can't let people learn about the Furies.
その件についてだが。
How about that? Oh, hi.
近藤さんと土方さん。って。
Oh, hey, Gondo. Whoa.
Saito! なんでここにいんだよ?
Saito, what the hell are you doing here? I rubbed vigorously at my eyes, looking, then did it again. There was no doubt the man who had followed Kondo and Hijikata into their room was the man who had left to join the guardians of the Imperial Tomb, Saito himself.
おや、斉藤くんじゃないか。久しぶりだね。ご両英二の方はどうしたんだい?
Oh, hello, Saito. It's been a while. What happened to the guard? What are you talking about anyway? There's no way Hijikata would allow anyone from the guard here. We're prohibited from even talking to them.
ああ、ごちゃごちゃうるせえな。許すも何も。本日付で斉藤は新選組に復帰すんだよ。
Just shut up, alright? Starting today, Saito's back in the Shinsengumi. Left the guard and returned to Shinsengumi. He joined the guard under orders from Hijikata in order to observe Ito. Ah, see, I was right! All those sections ago. What?
え？いや、ちょっと待った、土方さん。俺たち的には嬉しい頼りだけどよ。それじゃあ、ご両英二っつうか、伊藤派の立場は？
What? Hold on a second there. Hijikata, we're glad he's back, don't get me wrong, but what happened with the guard and Ito? It was Saito who answered.
まずそこから訂正を。俺はもともと伊藤派ではない。
You're mistaken, but understandably, I was never one of Ito's supporters.
斉藤君はな、都市の名誉を受けて患者として伊藤派に混じっていたんだよ。
In fact, Saito joined Ito and his men as a spy under Toshi's direct orders. And with that, everything suddenly made sense. They say they had to fool your enemy, you must fool your allies, and Saito had been doing just that.
なんだ斉藤くん、僕に内緒でそんなに楽しいことしてたんだね。
What? Come on, Saito, it's not fair for you to go off and have fun without letting me in on it.
さっきは肝が冷えたぜ。近藤さんたちも人が悪いよ。
Man, you just about scared the pants off me. Not cool, Kondo.
極秘だったんでな。黙っていてみんなにはすまんことをしたな。
This was all top secret. I'm sorry. I had to keep it from all of you. I was surprised to be sure, but I was glad we'd have Saito back with us again. I gave him a tentative smile, but he only sighed and shook his head. Oh, I love you too, Saito.
安心するのは後だ。
Oh, okay, fair enough. It's too early to feel relieved.
この半年、俺は五両英二として活動したが、伊藤たちは新選組に対して明らかな敵対行動を取ろうとしている。
The last 6 months in the guard have made it clear Ito and his followers are going to take action against the Shinsengumi. What?
敵対行動とは
What sort of
表現からして穏やかではないようだ。
God, that's a very long sense for just that word. What sort of action?
伊藤のやつは幕府を失墜させるために羅刹隊の存在を公表しようとしてやがんだ。そのために薩摩と手を組んだって話もあるな。
Ito is going to expose the Fury Corps to discredit the shogunate. There's even talk that he's working with Satsuma to that end. If the existence and creation of the monstrous Furies was to become public knowledge, the shogunate's reputation would be irreparably damaged, and the Shinsengumi would undoubtedly suffer as well. Even I could predict that.
そして、より差し迫った問題がもう一つ。伊藤派は、 新選組局長暗殺計画を練っている。
And there's more. Ito plans to assassinate the chief of the Shinsengumi. You mean Kondo? Well, that must not be a fun chat to listen to. Oh, they want to kill me. It's fun. Kondo's face was stern and tense, but he kept silent. I glanced over at Hijikata.
五両英二はすでに新選組潰しに動き始めている。坂本龍馬が暗殺された件を聞いたが。
The guard is moving to destroy the Shinsengumi. You've already heard about Sakamoto, right?
ああ、なんでも俺がやったとかいう話だよな。
Yeah, some crap about me being the killer.
聞いたなら話は早い。その噂を流したのは五両英二の連中だ。
Right. Well, you have the guards in the Imperial Tomb to thank.
紀州藩の三浦九太郎が新選組に依頼して原田に殺させたってな。
They've been spreading the rumor that Kyoto Miru of Kishu hired the Shinsengumi and the Harada put the sword in him. Hijikata explained that Miura insisted that he didn't do it, but it was sure that someone's going to take a stab at him eventually.
三浦の剣を斎藤に頼むことになる。斎藤は周りから見ると伊藤派から出戻りしたようにしか見えねえからな。
So, Saito's going to be guarding Miura for now. If it looks like he left and then came back, it won't be too hard for Ito to put two and two together.
わきまえています。ほとぼりが冷めるまで俺はここにいない方がいいでしょう。
I understand. Until this matter is settled, it is better if I'm not seen here. When Hijikata paused for a moment, the room was utterly silent. Every one of us could sense that what would come next would be very, very important.
伊藤貸太郎。羅刹隊を公にするだけでなく、近藤さんの命まで狙ってるときた。
Eh? Kaishitaro Ito, it's not enough for you to expose the Fury Corpse. You have to try and kill Kondo too, huh? He spoke quietly, almost to himself, as if sharing a final moment with a former comrade. When he looked up and when he spoke, his voice was like cold steel, the voice of the demon.
残念なことだが、伊藤さんには死んでもらうしかないな。
It's too bad it has to be this way, but we don't have a choice. Hito dies.
やむを得まい。
Okay. I suppose you're right. It can't be helped. Kondo nodded, and that was that. Shinsengumi would kill Kaishitaro Ito.
まず、伊藤を近藤さんの別宅に呼び出す。接待には俺も回る。
First one by Ito to Kondo's second home, and I'll be there too.
その後、伊藤の死体を使って五両英二の連中を呼び出し、切る。
Once he's dead, we can use Ito's corpse to lure out the rest of the guard and kill them.
実行隊は長倉、原田、お前らに頼む。
This is gonna get interesting. Nagakura, Harada, I'm assigning you and your divisions to this. Take care of it.
で、土方さん、僕は誰を切ればいいんですか？
Hey, Hijikata, who do you want me to kill?
おめえは寝てろ。変な咳をしやがるし、体調も悪いんだろう。
He's having the time of his life here, isn't he? No one. You're staying here in bed. You still got that cough, don't you? You're sick.
まだ数日は斎藤もここにいるから、相手してもらってろ。
Saito will be here for a few days, so you'll have someone to play with. Play with?
恨みますよ、土方さん。
You're a real bastard, Hijikata. It all seemed very calculated for murder. I hadn't realized I'd been sitting still dumbfounded until I felt a gentle tap on my shoulder. Saito?
五両英二はこれで終わる。平助を呼び戻すつもりがあるなら、これが最後の機会になるだろう。
This will be the end of the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb. If we're going to return Heisuke to the fold, it must be now or never. He was right. If they meant to kill the guard, that include Heisuke. Hijikata, what are you going to do about Heisuke? He's part of the guard now.
そりゃもちろん助けて。
Isn't that obvious? We'll save him, of course.
歯向かうようなら切れ。
No, he fights us, he dies. What? No, you can't mean that. That's wrong. Hijikata showed no sign that he had even heard me. I watched his back disappear out the door. You're actually going to order them to kill Heisuke? Don't you even care what happens to him?
そんなわけがなかろう。
Of course we care.
年だって本心では助けたいと思ってるんだ。年には俺からも後で話しておく。
I know that deep down, Toshi wants to save him too. I'll talk to him later. The last few words were mumbled to himself and then coughed nervously as if embarrassed he had raised his voice. It was only then that I realized how much Kondo was suffering, how much they were all suffering, even Hijikata. I'm sorry for saying that.
いや、むしろ嬉しかったよ。平助は皆に慕われているのだな。
No. Need to apologize. It makes me happy, quite honestly. I'm glad people care for Heisuke. Kondo let out a slow breath and then looked up at me and smiled. He turned to Nagakura and Harada and spoke in a low voice.
長倉、原田。局長ではなく、近藤勇として頼む。平助を見逃してやれ。できるなら、戻るように説得してほしい。
I'm asking you this not as your chief, but as Isami Kondo. Let Heisuke live. And if you can, try and convince him to come back. Got it.
やってみる。
Leave it to us, Chief. As I discussed the details of their orders, I sat there and wondered, what should I do? What could I do?
これで皆、自分の役割は確認したな。
What can I do?
質問があるなら今のうちに言っておいてくれ。
I trust everything's clear. If you have questions, now is the time. Wait. I heard myself begin to speak, my voice surprisingly calm and dignified. I haven't been given any orders. I would like to help.
手伝うと言っても、今回は汚い仕事だ。
This is a dirty
正
job.
直、君は関わるべきではない。
This is a dirty job. You really shouldn't be involved. It was true. This wasn't a patrol or even a guarding mission. This was an assassination of a former comrade and an attack on a man who had split from the Shinsengumi. Stay home. No, I'm gonna help this motherfucker. If you're all getting your hands dirty, I'm coming with you. Still, I wanted to do what I could. I might be my last chance to see Heisuke. Please, let me go. I won't get in the way.
あのな、今回のは使いでも遊びでもねえんだ。
This isn't anything you've done before, Chizuru. You understand that, right?
一時は同志だった奴らの暗殺だ。万一があれば、平助すら切ることになるかもしれないんだぞ。
We're killing someone who used to be one of us. Much as we don't want to, we might even have to kill Heisuke. I know. It's not something to be taken lightly. I knew that Shinsengumi had carried out all these sorts of black operations before. There was no way I could have stayed with them as long as I had and not known, but that was why I couldn't simply stand by and let them shoulder all the responsibility. I had spent enough time looking away until the deed was done. No more. Perhaps it's presumptuous of me to say so, but I consider myself a member of the Shinsengumi.
決意は固いようだな。
Then you're determined to do this, I see. His face had lost its usual warmth. It wasn't anger or cruelty that showed now, but the gravity of a general addressing his men.
ならばどうする？この一件において、君は何をしたいのか？
Tell me then, how do you intend to help? I had already decided I would... I would love to do this one, but... I'm going to help with Ito. I'm going to let the others who know him better help out. I'm going to go with Ito. I would lure Ito into the trap Shinsengumi had planned for him. He was quite cautious at first, but after some prompting to talk about the issue he was familiar with and the liberal application of alcohol, he loosened up significantly. His high spirits provided an almost sickening contrast to the fate that awaited him. What?
もう上位などと声高に叫んでいる場合ではございませんわ。
Oh, well, we already started thinking. Okay, I was like, what? Nationalism is nearly a taboo term these days, you know. His laughter echoed hollowly through my skull. In his smile, I could already see the rickus grin of a corpse. We were entertaining Ito at Kondo's second home, and all night the alcohol had flown easily.
何せ、長州も薩摩も、このままでは外国に対抗できぬと悟って、外来の文化を取り入れ始めていますもの。
Even the Satsuma and Chosu have finally realized they cannot rival foreign technology and influence, and have begun to adopt outside culture.
ほほう。というと、例えばどのような
I see, such as?
そうですわね。例えば銃よ。外国から多くの銃を取り寄せ、洋式の訓練を積んだ部隊を作っているのよ。
Let me think. Yes. For example, the gun. Firearms. They've managed to import a great many guns and have been training their men in Western warfare tactics. He nodded sagely and gestured somewhat awkwardly with his cup. Kondo nodded solemnly in agreement.
近藤さん、これ新選組もいろいろ道を考え直した方が良さそうだな。
Interesting. Maybe we should start thinking about training Shinsengumi in Western tactics.
そうでしょう、そうでしょう。あなたたちも対局を見なさいな。
Yes, you agree? You must be able to see the big picture these days.
ああ、今は違う道だが、目指すところは同じだ。もう一杯どうだい、伊藤さん。
Yeah, we might be on different paths, but we're already headed in the same destination. Another drink, Ito. Here you are. It was perfectly normal alcohol, no poison or drugs, but we were making him drunk in order to murder him. Was that any different than me pouring poison straight into his cup? It would just be a bit faster.
あら、震えてるわよ。大丈夫？気分でも悪いのかしら。
My goodness, dear, you're shaking. Are you all right? Are you feeling ill?
いやいや、心配には及ばないかと。伊藤さん相手に緊張しているのでしょう。
When did Ichigo know I was a girl? I guess probably after the night I got attacked, I guess. It's like, wait, you know I'm a girl? What? You shouldn't worry about her, Ito. She's just nervous about speaking to you.
あらあら。私のことがそんなに気にかかるのかしら？いけない子ですこと。
Oh my, am I so terribly intriguing? What a bad girl you are.
確かにな。手と顔に出てるぞ。こういう場にもそろそろ慣れておけよ。たく。
Yeah, she gives herself away too easily. Kids need a little self-control. The subtle message was clear. Hide your emotions, Chizuru. I swallowed and nodded. I had been my choice to help with Ito's assassination. The least I could do was now not get in the way. Yes, I'm sorry.
まあまあ、お酒の席ですもの。固いことはいい子なしですわ。
Oh, rubbish. This is a party. We needn't be so stiff.
伊藤さんは器が広いですな。
Ito, you truly are a man worthy of distinction. Time passed and alcohol was drunk.
今日は有意義なお話ができましたわ。それでは、ごきげんよう。
Well, it was nice to enjoy a meaningful conversation. And now, farewell. After spending all night expounding on his theories for the advancement of Japanese society, Ito finally stumbled off into the darkness, more than a little drunk. I watched him disappear. The last time I would see him alive.
後味が悪いものだな。
This feels wrong, Toshi.
これが俺たちの選んだ道。俺たちの仕事だ。言われるものじゃない。こんな汚い仕事だってある。
It's the path we chose. It's our duty to do this, but that doesn't mean we have to be proud of it. Sometimes the job's dirty. I...
大将も、ついでにお前も、あまり深く背負い込むな。計画したのも指示したのも、俺なんだからな。
Look, Chief, this one's not on your head, alright? I made the plan. I gave the orders. Hijikata let out a long sigh, his eyes staring off into the darkness where Ito had gone. What happened afterwards was not something I care to remember. Ito, too drunk to fight back, was quickly and easily killed by the men waiting for him. But the night was far from over. Battle and bloodshed awaited at Aburano Koji from Nagakura and the men sent to ambush the guardians of the Imperial Tomb. Fate waited for Okita cowboy-sitting at the headquarters in Fudodo City. For Okita? What? For them, all of us waited a night after which nothing would be the same. What? The assassination of Ito and the destruction of the guardians of the Imperial Tomb was later known as the Aburn Koji Incident. Upon hearing his plans assassinating Kondo and the ever-looming threat he might reveal the existence of the furious Shinsengumi had no choice but to kill him. Thank you. An international dispute made Shinsengumi that resulted in the deaths of Ito and several of his men. I think that was it. Okay. Both the Shinsengumi and the guard were surprised by the sudden appearance of the Satsuma troops and by the demons who accompanied them. Both parties had fallen for the Satsuma's trap, and the battlefield was thrown into confusion. During the fight, Heisuke was mortally wounded and had no choice but to drink the water of life and become a fury or die. What? As the Battle of Aburano Koji was taking place, the headquarters of the Shinsengumi came under attack from Chikage Kazama. The monstrous thing my father had made was slowly devouring the Shinsengumi. How long before the water of life swallowed them whole? Well then, there ends that part of chapter 3. I don't know what to think. I'm just kind of like, oh, that ending. Didn't get to see much of it, but damn, there was a lot of information. Yeah, so that was definitely interesting. Yeah, so let me know what you think about this chapter in the comments below. You can follow my social links in the description down there as well as our schedule, as well when everything gets uploaded. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Until then, and Kaze out. Bye, guys.